Masha, first off, thanks for coming on with us here as we look ahead to this weekend of the ASUN semis. Marina is your first name.
Yes.
And let's dive into Masha,
Yes.
as you're affectionately known here within the tennis program.
Yes.
How'd you get that nickname?
It's just my parents told me from young ages, and it just stayed Masha, and yeah, that's it.
So when people say Marina, do you even turn around?
Yes, actually my trainer is the only person in here that calls me Marina.
Right.
And I'm just like, who is that?
You know, before we started taping here, I was talking to Bill Smith, who's your public relations
Yes.
director, and he goes, well, she goes by Masha. And you came in, we're like, hey, I'm Alan. You're like, well, my name is Marina. And we joked about, hey, why did you call yourself Masha?
Yeah.
But even your teammates were like, Masha, Masha, Masha. So
Yep.
it's good to have you on here. And this team's having a good year, and you're heading to the ASUN semifinals. Before we do talk about that, you're from Armenia.
Yes,
and
Armenia.
you went to Tulsa, played there a couple of years. How did you end up here with Liberty?
You know those stories that it's God's story or God's plan? It was one of those. It was just like from nowhere, I just got this offer. I talked to Coach Marina and Coach Lemmy at that time, and I just fell in love with them and the team culture as they explained about everything. And I was just like, this is my chance to go somewhere that I can have my second family, because that's the most important thing for international students, to find your second family outside of like your home city.
Off the court, what are you studying?
I study sport management. I'm doing master's degree right now.
When tennis is over, what do you envision doing with your career?
I'm trying and I'm hoping to start playing some pro tournaments and see where that goes.
Now, this team, coming off a very emotional win over Austin P last weekend.
Yeah.
All the eyes were on you, Masha, as you were
just
sitting
got
there, like, tiebreakers, and like it was intense.
Yeah.
And it came down to your match. Did you feel pressure, or did you feel at peace during that time last weekend?
I have this weird thing after my surgeries. I just get this weird peace in my heart when I play, when I'm like about to win, or I'm losing the second set, but like I get this weird feeling inside of me. I'm like, everything is under control. Like, just relax and you do you. And when it was the third set, I was cramping everywhere. My body was just giving up. And I just got that peace feeling, and I was just like, I got this. So, yeah.
And as much training as student athletes do across the country, all those repetitions before that intense match, did that kind of help you know that, hey, I put in the work, I'm going to be okay during this match, despite how much intensity there was in it, right?
Definitely. It's just one thing that was scaring me was my knee, because like I'm still recovering. As much it's been like a year now, but I'm still recovering, and like sometimes I do the shot and I'm like, I felt it. There's something popped. Am I okay? But that day I was just like, just don't think about it. This is the time. Just go after your shots.
When that final point was in your favor, match was over, you advanced to the semifinals. Take me into the celebration. What was that like for you and this team?
It was crying, for sure. Ugly crying, and like relief that, because we had so many adversities in this semester, like injuries after injuries, and it's just finally we saw God's plan and believe in a process that everything happens for a reason. And we just went out there and didn't think about the outcome. We just went after our shots, believed in each of us, and just, you know, it's happened.
Masha, you've played 2, 3, and 4 singles as far as the positions. How versatile is your game, knowing that Coach Marina can just kind of pencil you in wherever you need to go?
The thing is, I play everything. So like, one of my teammates actually said, I do every shot twice in a point, which means like I can slice twice in a point, I can drop shot twice, I can lob. So like I feel the ball and I just play with it. That's why I love the sport so much, because I'm just playing and enjoying everything what I can.
Taking on now top seed UNF coming up in the semifinals. The excitement heading down to Jacksonville to play the Ospreys, and what you might be up against here in the next match.
So as I said, we've been going through so much this semester, and we're just, every match we're going and saying we have nothing to lose at this point. We've done everything what we could in practices with each other, those little talks that we have with each other, and we're just gonna go out there and trust that we're capable of doing it. And the difference is between those teams and us is like we're actually one unit, and we're like family. We live with each other, we eat with each other, so everything is together. So I think that helps us at the end of like that last second when I looked at my team and they're like giving me everything what they had, like screaming and cheering, and I was just like, this is for them.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Final thought here. Pre-match preparation for you, game day. What are some things that you do to get your racket ready, or sweatbands or anything like that that fans might want to know?
Yeah, first what I do, I grip my racket, and then I have a book that calls Jesus Calling. It's like a little passage from the Bible and gives some verses. So I read that, I journal, I pray, and then I'm just like ready to go.